Good evening. We're here at Rowan University after today's NCAA second round men's soccer tournament game where Cabrini lost to Johns Hopkins 2-0. Coach, may start with an opening comment from you.
Again, credit to Johns Hopkins. They're a phenomenal team. I think they have a ton of talent, and they play their game very well. They have the ability to make a run here. They have a tough next opponent, but they certainly have the ability to compete with them. So it'll be fun to watch how they do. In terms of our guys, I was really happy with really the last 48 hours. Right, it's tough to play a close game into overtime last night and then rebound and play again today. The guys executed the game plan both nights very well. We made a couple mistakes tonight that ended up hurting us a little bit. But across the board, I was really happy with the way the guys played and even the way they responded to the adversity when the going got tough.
Can you talk about your season so far? You started out 0-7-1, obviously a rough start. You guys turned everything around in the middle of the season during conference play, win a conference championship, and make it to the second round of the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history.
Yeah, it was certainly a tough start to the season. Not the way we drew it up. We did play a pretty tough non-conference schedule. We were playing some really good stuff at times and just were getting unlucky, and then at other times we weren't playing so well. Last year we graduated a phenomenal group. I think it was like 7 all-conference players. So we had a young group this year. We had to learn a lot about ourselves and, tinker a little bit and figure out what works and what doesn't. And, once we got into conference play, we really hit our stride. And there's kind of a running saying, especially among coaches, that it's all about peaking at the right time. We certainly did. Once we got in conference, we did very well. Got ourselves the 1 seed, hosted through the playoffs, played some really tough games through the playoffs. Were able to win the championship, and we've been saying all along, if you thought when we're 0-7-1 that we were going to be winning a championship or playing in the NCAA tournament, I would have told you you're crazy. But it speaks to the group really, the way that they've responded to the adversity all season. That's a tough start, tough to keep the wheels on the bus, and these guys especially, our senior leaders really, and they're not all sitting here, right? But all of our seniors did a really good job of keeping the room focused, keeping everyone kind of focused on the next game and focused on the task at hand, and we were able to turn things around, did really well. So credit to them.
To Ben and X, can you talk about tonight's game? Talk about your careers.
I've been at Cabrini for 3 years now. I mean, past 2 years, I would say we had more individual talent, but this year as a group, collectively, I mean, we were strong as hell. We had plenty of guys come fighting for each other. It was just a great season all around. But, credit for John Hopkins. They're a great team. But, I mean, the way to end my season, beating Rowan at Rowan and then playing the second round of the NCAA tournament, this is just a great accomplishment overall.
Being my first year here and having these guys basically accept me into their family, a lot of programs don't do that automatically. Being my first year here, I've had a ball. Having Dallas teach me through different things. Ben just being like a good team captain, keeping everybody together. Team chemistry, I loved it the whole year. Everybody's like a family. Either we're at practice, out of practice, everybody's together. Like Dallas said earlier, usually when a team starts 0-7-1, you wouldn't think we'll be winning a conference championship or going to an NCAA tournament. And, off what Ben said, off last night, we had a high last night. Today we was hoping for more. We didn't necessarily success what we wanted. But you can't ask for more for me this whole year. Like this 1 year, by itself showed me a whole lot.
Final question for Coach. Can you talk a little about your seniors, the leadership they've given you, particularly these 2 gentlemen on and off the field?
Yeah, I mean, X is an interesting one because he's only been here for a year, so we like to give him a hard time. But he really has. I mean, he's been lights out this year. I think easily our most consistent player. When we got on our all-conference call and we're talking about him, there weren't enough good things to say, not just from myself but from the coaches. On the field, he's been great. Off the field, like he said, coming into a culture where he's brand new in the last year, that can be a tough situation at times. And I was really proud of not only the way that the guys accepted him, but the way that he came in and fit right in and handled his role. And it's a tough thing for everyone, and he did a fantastic job of it. Joe Fury, who's one of our seniors, he comes and works hard every single day. There's not enough good things I can say about Joe. Off the field, he's one of the most well-rounded young men I've ever had the privilege of working with. And, for a whole lot of reasons outside of just soccer, we're going to miss Joe next year. Tim Atala's career was cut short, had an opportunity to walk away if he wanted, because he wasn't going to really be able to play anymore. Instead, he stayed and was involved with the program and was out there every single day, even in these 30-degree conditions at practice and at games, and, was a huge part of it. And then obviously Ben's been, I told him when he got here, he didn't have a choice. He had to be our leader. He's certainly the most charismatic young man I've ever worked with. Probably the most technical player I've ever coached, and we always joke when Ben's having a good day, our team's having a good day, and when Ben's having a bad day, we try and get him to have a good day. So he's been so influential for our program, and I think these guys are leaving huge holes to fill next year, but that's going to be one of them, is having someone that comes in and can be a charismatic leader for us, or maybe a different type of leader, but finding that niche and who's going to lead the room. And I think we have a few guys that are starting to step up into that role, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops in the next few years, or the next few months, I should say. But yeah, this group is a special group, and we're certainly going to miss them.
Ben and X, will end with you guys. Any final comments that you want to leave for your teammates or for fans back at Radnor?
I'm just happy for all the support that we got from all the fans that came out last night and tonight. I mean, we had a great crowd. It felt like a home game, honestly, because we had so many fans out. But, just credit to our whole team in general. Like, everyone fought every day, even being 0-7. I mean, obviously, we didn't think we were going to be in the second round of the NCAA tournament to end our season. But, at the end of it, like, all we wanted to do as seniors is just leave Cabrini in a better spot than we had it. So I think we did that, and I think the guys next year will have a good run too. But, I'm just going to get home and just ride this one out. I mean, it is a devastating loss, but I know the guys are going to rebound next year, and I'll certainly support them as the season goes on next year.
Basically what Ben said, we created history at Cabrini, and being the first team to win a game in the NCAA tournament is something huge for us seniors. Be able to lead that group and to realize what we did and what mark we left with our last bang. For the guys who's coming back, who's returning next year, you got Dre, Jared, a couple guys, Danny, a couple guys who are going to be able to create that energy that we left. Hopefully they can fill in those gaps, those spots. Try to bring it home again next year. Winning the conference championship, and this is our last year in the CSAC, is something big as well. And it's just it's a huge accomplishment, So starting 0-7-1 and having a rough start, for a group of guys to be able to stay together and stay positive and be able to win a conference championship, get to the NCAA tournament, create an upset, and be able to still be happy and be a family. There's nothing more I can ask for. So, good luck to John Hopkins. They're a great team. And that's pretty much it. Time to get back to Radnor. Roll Cavs.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations on a great season.